Can you answer these questions about standard deviation? Question 1. On a standardized examination, Laura received a score of 85, which was exactly 2 standard deviations above the mean. If the standard deviation for this examination is 4, what is the mean for this test? This question is asking if Laura's score is 85, which is 2 standard deviations above the mean, and the standard deviation is 4, what is the mean? Well, what we would have to do is subtract 2 standard deviations, so we'd subtract 8 from 85, and we would get 77 as the mean. Next question, a shoe manufacturer collected data regarding men's shoe sizes and found that the distribution of sizes exactly fits the normal curve. If the mean shoe size is 11 and the standard deviation is 1.5, find the probability that a man's shoe size is greater to or equal than 11 and then separately greater or equal than to 14. So there's actually 2 parts to this question. First, we have to determine what percentage of men have a shoe size greater to or equal to 11. And then second, we have to figure out the same thing, but for the shoe size 14. The first answer is gonna be kind of easy just because 11 is our mean or our average for this data. This just tells us that half the men are gonna have a shoe size greater and half are gonna have a shoe size smaller than 11. When looking at the second question, 14 is 2 standard deviations above the average, which is 11. This is because 1.5 is our standard deviation, so 2 of them would be plus 3. We know that the 2 standard deviations encapsulates 95% of the data, which means the ends here are going to be 5% of the data. However, we're only looking at 14 and above, not 8 and below. So half of 5 is going to be 2.5. So there's only going to be about 2.5% of men, they're going to have a shoe size greater to or equal to 14. Next question, a bag of chips has a mean mass of 70 grams with a standard deviation of 3 grams. If 1,250 bags are processed each day, how many bags will have a mass between 67 grams and 73 grams? This question is going to be kind of easy just because it's looking at just this first standard deviation, which encapsulates 68.2% of the data. And all we have to do is take that 68% and multiply it by the number of bags to find that in this shaded area, there are going to be about 850 bags or 850 bags of chips within this first standard deviation. Last question, the lifespan of a 60-watt light bulb produced by a company is normally distributed with a mean of 1,450 hours and a standard deviation of 20 hours. If a light bulb produced by this company is selected at random, what is the probability that its lifespan will be between 1,410 and 1,490 hours? So again, this question is just looking at what percent, not even how many, but just what percent of light bulbs are going to fall between those 2 numbers. Since these 2 numbers are going to be 2 standard deviations away from the mean, it just means that 95% of the time when you pull out a light bulb, it's going to have a chance of being between those 2 numbers.